Christine Brennan is after making a suggestion for why DeWanna Bonner maybe left the Indiana Fever, and her reasoning is crazy if true.
This is what no one anticipated. After essentially ignoring the Indiana Fever for weeks, veteran icon DeWanna Bonner was recently waived. But a shocking report from Christine Brennan indicates the true cause of this turmoil may astound you. We are discussing a topic far more profound than basketball. What do you believe actually transpired between Bonner and the Fever? Post your hypotheses in the comment section.
DeWanna Bonner's situation is one of the most unprofessional things I have ever seen in any level of professional sports, and it has to be addressed. If you're not familiar, DeWanna Bonner is cut from the Indiana Fever. We have just waived her, and we brought back Ari McDonald. DeWanna Bonner has not played in the last few Indiana Fever games, and we were all thinking it was because of personal reasons. And all us Indiana Fever fans were thinking it was something big. I even said on a few of my live streams,
okay, let's dissect this complete issue because, to be honest, the DeWanna Bonner situation involving the Indiana Fever is more bizarre than anyone could have imagined. After playing in just 9 games, the 37-year-old veteran was waived by Indiana on Wednesday. However, the real reason for this is what Christine Brennan recently disclosed. So let's first clarify the facts of what really transpired. Bonner was supposed to be a key veteran player to star with Caitlin Clark in the upcoming Fever after signing a 1-year contract with Indiana in the offseason. This wasn't just any pickup. It was meant to be the missing component that would help stabilize this young team around Clark's second professional season. But this is where things get interesting.
Yesterday that DeWanna Bonner had no intention of coming back to the Indiana Fever. So initially we were wondering, hey, what is the reason? And the media has been feeding us this lie. The main reason why DeWanna Bonner is dipping out is because she wants to be in a starting position, and maybe she's mad about Lexi Holt outperforming her. Maybe she's mad about the fact that she's not getting the position of Natasha Howard on the team, and she's just been benched because she has not been playing well. They've also been saying that the fit is not well because she is a very slow player in a team that likes to play really fast. These are good concerns, and these are true probably to a certain extent, but that's not the end of it. What they've been trying to hide is the fact that DeWanna Bonner is leaving to go play with her.
Based on several league sources, we've all seen players have problems with teams before, but what Christine Brennan said about this situation is completely insane. DeWanna Bonner has no interest in playing for the Fever again, and she essentially vanished from the team for weeks before being fired, citing personal reasons.
As much as Christine Brennan does very much lean anti-WNBA, she's still Christine Brennan. Like, I know a lot of people want to say, oh, Christine Brennan is this, Christine Brennan is that, but at the end of the day, Christine Brennan is Christine Brennan. She is arguably the most important female sports journalist of all time.
Before we get into this, we must recognize that Brennan, who is essentially the most respected female sports journalist in the world, has incredible credibility. She is not just some random blogger making things up. If she were simply spreading unfounded rumors, her reputation would be completely destroyed. Brian shared some insider information on ESPN that has everyone talking.
So here's what she said about DeWanna Bonner.
Look at DeWanna Bonner, and there's reporting on her, and I don't have any inside reporting. So DeWanna Bonner was brought in by Stephanie White, the new coach, formerly a Fever player and coach as well, for the Fever, brought from Connecticut, and she wanted to bring her star veteran, 37-year-old DeWanna Bonner, as a stabilizing influence. A leader went out in 2 games in the playoffs, and they needed more depth and more leadership and more veteran savvy, etc. So that's the decision that Stephanie White makes. Within a couple of games, DeWanna Bonner is not playing well, and then she disappears, and then she's literally now gone and says she doesn't want to play, and she wants to trade, and
so
we'll see what's
weird
with Phoenix and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but the little...
we know up to that point. We know she was playing badly.
Thus, here's the shocking revelation from Brennan. It's just a really hot spotlight, and rather than enjoying it, accepting it, and earning money because Caitlin can't do every supermarket job, they're all getting all that stuff. The Fever players because Caitlin can't do everything. This is a great life for them, and Bonner couldn't handle it, didn't want it, or was getting to her.
No, like, this next part is the crazy part, and this next part is why I'm making this video. Because up to this point, from what Christine Brennan said, and this is Christine Brennan on ESPN LA, and it's a video titled Christine Brennan thinks Caitlin Clark can do the unthinkable.
Little clue here I was at that game, May 17th, that home opener for the Fever against Chicago, and they just absolutely steamrolled them over 30 points. Great game by the Fever. And Bonner made it third all time at scoring, and had like some points. Her interview right afterwards, it's a joyous moment, right? I mean, we've all seen these interviews. Mona, you've done them. I've done them. We were talking to the player. This is easy stuff, and she goes, "I was shocked." She said at the crowd. I've never seen anything like this. Never experienced anything like this before. And I thought, what an interesting thing to say. Honest, yay, we love honesty. Yeah. But she's 37 and she's never seen anything like this. She meant it's 17,000 people, packed house, going crazy. They know their basketball, and they love you, and they love Caitlin, and they love everything about the team that Bonner is now on. Great, okay. And in talking to a source or two, it appears that Bonner was unable to, in some way, shape, or form, just deal with that spotlight.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that a 16-year veteran, a champion, and someone who has seen it all couldn't handle the attention that comes with playing with Caitlin Clark? That's pretty absurd when you consider it, but it gets even more intriguing from here. After her first home game, Brennan recalled a particular instance that now made complete sense. DeWanna Bonner, 37 of the Fever, stated on May 17th, "This is my first time playing in this kind of environment, and the crowd kind of shocked me a little bit." Take a moment to consider that this is DeWanna Bonner, a player who has been named an All-Star 6 times, participated in big games, and won championships. She claims she has never experienced anything like what happens at Indiana Fever games now that Caitlin Clark is present. And let's be honest about what the Caitlin Clark effect actually means for the Indiana Fever. We're not talking about typical WNBA crowds here. Rather, we're talking about packed arenas with 17,000 yelling basketball fans who are completely enthralled with this team. The energy is entirely different from anything the WNBA has seen in the past. According to Brennan's theory, Bonner simply couldn't adjust to the level of attention and pressure that comes with playing basketball with Caitlin Clark. When you're playing with her, you're not just playing basketball anymore. You're a part of a cultural phenomenon, with every game being nationally televised, every move being scrutinized, and the expectations being extremely high. The sarcastic side of me wants to say, really, a veteran player couldn't handle success? But honestly, this makes more sense than people want to admit. Not everyone is built for that level of spotlight. We've seen it in other sports players who can perform when nobody's watching but crumble when the lights get too bright. Bonner averaged 7.1 points and 3.8 rebounds per game before being waived by the Fever earlier this week. Those aren't terrible numbers, but they're definitely not what you'd expect from a player of her caliber. She went from being a consistent contributor to looking lost on the court, and now we might know why. What makes this even more fascinating is the timeline of how everything went down. Bonner signed a 1-year contract with the Fever in February and started in the first 3 games of the 12-25 season. On May 17th, she became the 3rd all-time leading scorer in WNBA history with 7,189 points. So she hit this incredible milestone, had that moment where she talked about being shocked by the crowd, and then everything just fell apart from there. She got benched. After 3 games, started coming off the bench, and then basically vanished from the team entirely. Bonner has not played since June 10th due to personal reasons, and now we're finding out that those personal reasons might have been her just not being able to deal with the circus that surrounds Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Here's what's really telling, though: the business side of this. Brennan pointed out that being on the Fever with Caitlin Clark is basically a gold mine for endorsements and appearance fees. Clark can't do every commercial, every appearance, every autograph signing, so her teammates get opportunities they'd never have on any other team. Most players would kill for that kind of exposure and those financial opportunities, but apparently Bonner wanted no part of it, and honestly, that's her choice. But it's also kind of mind-blowing. We're talking about a player at the tail end of her career who could have cashed in big time, but instead chose to walk away because the spotlight was too intense. The really wild part is how this all connects to the broader Caitlin Clark phenomenon. We've seen the numbers. Her games draw massive television audiences, sell out arenas, and generate social media buzz that the WNBA has never experienced before. But what we're learning is that not everyone can handle being part of that machine. Think about what Bonner was supposed to bring to this team. Just the way she talks and she leads. For me, as a second-year point guard, I want to win for her. This is the end of her career. She deserves it. Clark said eloquently of the 6-time All-Star. who the Fever signed to a one-year contract in February as part of their attempt to retool their roster and add more seasoned veterans to support Clark. Clark gave some really strong appreciation, which demonstrates how much the team was counting and subscribing for more WNBA analysis and drama.